Welcome to tennis.com.au. It is the all-important Wimbledon fashion watch. I have Tennis Australia's resident fashionista, Prue Ryan, with us.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you very much for being here. Prue, you were over there in London. You were at the official player party. How did it go?
It was amazing. The WTA organised this very glamorous party at the Kensington Roof Gardens. All the girls turned up, military precision, on the purple carpet, posing for hundreds of paparazzi. They looked extraordinary. They worked with the British Fashion Design Council. All the girls were dressed by British designers and they looked extraordinary.
We spoke before we jumped on camera about some fashion faux pas. Bethany Maddox-Sands.
Well, Bethany Maddox-Sands is a bit of a serial offender, and she'd been talking about her love for Lady Gaga. And Lady Gaga's fashion or costume designer, Alex Noble, specially made an outfit for Bethany, and we can have a look at the result here. It's quite extraordinary. I think Bethany's brief was that it had to stay on. And I think it was almost unfortunate that it did. She looked quite extraordinary with the cut-out tennis balls, and we can actually look at how she carried this theme on to her on-court attire a bit later on.
You mentioned again Serena Williams. She had some trouble getting up the stairs.
She did. Serena actually looked amazing in green satin Burberry. She looked quite extraordinary, but the skirt was so tight, and I did actually witness Serena trying to get up the stairs, and I think she actually had to do it backwards, which was quite hilarious. Some of the best dressed was Jelena Jankovic looked absolutely divine in Vivienne Westwood, and Maria Sharapova also wearing a red dress, and she was in Alexander McQueen.
And Sabine Lisicki was also there, one of my personal favourites, Prue. So she looked okay?
And she's done very well, absolutely.
Very good. And now we're leading on to the on-court. Very important. It's a prestigious tournament. What did you think about the on-court fashion?
Well, the all-white rule means that you're sort of fairly limited. So it's not as though you can come up with anything particularly outstanding colour-wise. I actually thought Serena was one of our best dressed this year. She went, with a very simple, elegant tennis dress. I can see all the midweek ladies out there really wanting to get their hands on this. It's very slimming with the little vertical seams. I thought she looked fantastic. Maria Sharapova, again, she went for the very classic tennis dress. She's actually let her tennis do the talking this tournament, and of course she's reached the final. So instead of launching a tuxedo or doing some of the gimmicky things she's done in past years, she's gone for just a classic tennis dress and looks fantastic.
And your favourite part of the segment, we all know it's the faux pas. Who didn't get it right, Prue?
Well, again, we have to go to Bethany Maddox-Sands. She did turn up in her Lady Gaga tennis cowgirl outfit, fringing tennis balls. What wasn't on that jacket?
Seriously.
I think the Wimbledon Fashion Police were keeping a very close eye on her. But her actual playing outfit, she's gone for the ink. She's taken a leaf out of the Collingwood football.
Dane Swan?
Absolutely. She's gone for the sleeve. So she actually had a one-sleeve tennis top so that she could display the half sleeve that I think she's continuing to work on. She had the black under the eyes. She had the knee socks on. So there was a hell of a lot going on with Bethany. And I don't think any fashion segment, on-court fashion segment, would be complete without a mention of Venus Williams and her 11 self-designed outfit. This year she called it her jumper. And in Australia, we think of a jumper as like a sweater. She was talking about it as being a bit of a jumpsuit, but it had gold hot pants. She had a gold zip. We had flying sleeves. We had cutouts in the back. Again, there was a little bit of everything, and I think Venus just needs to concentrate on playing tennis rather than her fashion design career.
She definitely treads very close to the line.
She does.
Yeah. And then we move on to the spectators and the royal box as well. What did you see up there?
Well, it's very exciting. Of course, we had lots of royalty. Last year, the Queen came, but this year, I think day one or day two, Camilla turned up. There was huge excitement when the couple of the moment, when Kate and Wills arrived. Kate looking resplendent in traditional Wimbledon white, but as one of the girls in the office said, she obviously didn't have spaghetti carbonara and a bread roll for lunch. She was looking very, very trim. She looked as though she could have been out there playing. Favourite moment, I think, Cliff Richard asleep in the stands. I suppose at least he's not singing, and now they've got the roof, of course, he doesn't need to entertain the crowds during wet weather. With one of my personal favourites, Robert Redford in the background there.
And we had Jay-Z with his pimpin' glasses, as always. Pippa Middleton was also there. She looked pretty cute. I'd like to get a close-up zoom of her, if possible.
But is that the right angle? Is that the angle that everyone's wanting?
I'd say most angles are pretty favourable.
So lots of celebrities turning out to watch. I think we had Greg Norman turned up, and Beyonce apparently made an appearance as well.
And Prue, you've spoken about everyone else. I want to know, how did you go? What were you wearing throughout the 2 weeks and at the party?
It was freezing in London for the first few days. The party was the basic black chiffon cocktail frock, always a safe bet.
Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is myself. I feel as though I'm one of Tennis Australia's fashionistas, top 5 I reckon. But Prue, I need to get confirmation and feedback from yourself. So how do I go?
Well, there's a major problem. You're not wearing white.
I'm not wearing white. Good point. Prue, thank you very much
Thank
for
you
being
very
with us. Guys, thanks for joining in to the Wimbledon Fashion Wrap. We'll see you next time on tennis.com.au.